Alex Answer here. It is December 4th in the year 2018. Thank you for tuning in. Also, a very special thank you this holiday season to those on Patreon, those over at OutsideTheBox.vhx.tv, and those that donate when they're able to. Right now is a particularly difficult time. It's also very cold. Sometimes we get snowed in for those of us that live here. And so I want to thank you for your support. I want to talk about surviving during the holidays. Now, yes, it's challenging going off the grid. In some particular areas, there's no jobs. Some areas are a little bit better. Sometimes are better times than others for looking for work. Ultimately, I went off the grid to exit the matrix and focus on my work here full time. But I want to talk about stepping back from urban living environments to save oneself. And so there's a lot of people out there that are on the spiritual path or attempting to be on the spiritual path, the search for the truth. And it's important as people search for the truth that they realize that that's the first step, that's not the final step. There's also ways in which people, once they're searching for the truth, once others identify them, that they can be targeted and then rerouted back into the illusions of separation. See it all the time. Happens every day when people search for the truth. So it's really critical as we search for the truth that we become the truth, that we speak the truth, and that we don't let the sickness of this world infect us with the manufactured events, whether it be a caravan, whether it be the next manufactured event that leads to the next event, whether it be the left-right divide where people are picking their tribe and they're duking it out, because we ultimately have a very lonely society that has come from broken families. And so gangs are now forming out of the chaos, and the hungry children are more hungry for blood than they are for books and knowledge and the truth. And so this is the reality as it is. The change that you need to experience internally may require that you change certain things. For example, does your spouse put you down? Do the very people that are in your life, the quote-unquote best friends, are those the ones that make fun of you when you search for the truth and when you speak the truth? Or when you talk about things that could be truth? Are you attacked by others? Are there people that come in the false light of the truth only to step on your truth? So after years, by the way, this is just for new viewers, of speaking my truth in an urban environment. See, I got to see the left-leaning side of intolerance before the right-leaning side of intolerance. So I got to full circle experience a level of judgment from both this country's left and right. And that freed me to a certain degree. Now, to a certain degree, there is that sense of the nightmare within as I see things that I've talked about come to fruition. And I feel like I, for the most part, face silence. I speak to individuals here in Colorado, here and there, once in a while about the work that I do online. No one sees value in it. And no one believes that these things are coming. And those few people that do believe that some of these things may be coming or on the horizon or are happening, they are usually of the opinion of, why even talk about it? Why even care? Why not just go down the street and eat another candy bar, dude? I just don't understand why you care. And so that's the brick wall that we're facing. We're facing literally a brick wall, and it might as well be arguing with a brick wall as people say, dude, I don't care. Why do you care? Just go away. Okay, I will go away. But I will speak my truth to urban audiences around the world in a way in which no other off-gridder does. Tackling topics that no other off-gridder does. Speaking about issues that those that do speak about similar issues, they're usually in the grid. So this way of life and going through the holidays alone, and in some cases penniless, going through certain experiences to where I apply for jobs and I'm rejected from those very jobs. And we're talking about dishwashing jobs. We're talking about crap jobs. Tony, folks, pumping gas or things of that nature, McDonald's, that's too visible for me. So living through this life and going through holidays after holidays, batting for the truth, right? I know what it's like. to see how seeking my own truth, speaking my own truth, and my own light can make me a target. And so the holiday season is a season where we see what others have. It's less about ourselves having that communion around December 25th, right? Hell, this is the 1 year. Now that I'm no longer on Facebook, I no longer have any connection with anyone. So at least there's no longer any of the happy Thanksgiving, Alex. Hope you're having a good Thanksgiving. We all know the type of Thanksgiving that Alex Ansary is having or has had. Or what type of Christmas is coming up. What type of birthday is coming up. Nothing is coming up. Nothing at all. So out of the things that I do here, it's helping forge me into a stronger person. And in fact, desiring your love, what few of you are watching this channel, is actually something that inhibits me from speaking the truth even deeper. Because a true speaker can be co-opted even by elements of praise. When people are going, well, we like you when you entertain us and talk about X, Y, Z. But when you go down that alleyway of the traditional Alex Ansary topics, that's a spicy tomato. That's a spicy meatball. It's too much spice. It's too much flair. It's too much oomph. It's too much prana. It's too much authenticity. It's too much of who I am, not the Alex that you want me to be. Well, I've got some bad news for you if you happen to be in that demographic of just wanting the Alex Ansary that you want. The real Alex Ansary is coming back out with all of these issues and points because there's nothing left in this world for me. Not even on the holidays. I was only born through a sperm and an egg to speak certain types of truth that no other man or woman is. And that's the reality of it. That's how bizarre this is. As my feet literally feel frozen standing on this linoleum. As I look at my bank balance at $20 with the rest of the other cents and dollars pointing solely at the direction of the internet bill to come to you here, heat, which is on right now, what little food I can afford, and my land payment. I want the future to know I literally lived in poverty each and every day that I spoke these truths that other humans would not. And there would not be a Thanksgiving, there would not be a Christmas, there would not be a birthday that included other people. I would speak literally in my final days, in my final years, into a camera. I would upload that into the B system, and I would walk away from how the audience was responding to it digitally. And I would just simply continue to add to the fire within, the passion within, for a day in a galaxy far, far away, where I will be on that planet where it doesn't matter where you're from or where your dad is from. Well, it doesn't matter the things you talk about on YouTube, or it doesn't matter if you made a mistake when you were 18 or 19 to be slandered forever on YouTube, but it doesn't matter certain things, certain truths. Because there are realities out there, folks, to where goodness is not punished, to where nice guys are in the driver's seat, right? They're not finishing further less than they did the year before. So if someone really wants to evolve beyond this matrix, there's a certain path of renouncing this world, renouncing the ego attachment to how other people are responding to our truth. We have to go all the way. We have to cover the injustices within this world, the illusions of separation, the way people point outside of themselves and their own governments and their own people at the people on the other side of the wall if they're looking for someone to blame in the fallen world. Or if they're looking for some sort of, ooh, this is what an alien is, this is what an archon is, let's put it on this group of people. Well, we'll call the angels and the saviors this group of people. Just going deeper into the illusions of separation. Doesn't matter what your hair color is, get over it. You're not more superior or inferior because of the color of your eyes. But there are other realities where people get that. They don't get that here. They don't get that here. We are in a fallen world, and we are in this modern Tower of Babel, and we have been separated as fractals of light in this fallen world, and divided by our name, divided by our appearances, divided by our state of income, divided by our class, divided by our caste. And literally every holiday season we watch the world feast on the bones of the dying world. We watch during the Thanksgiving ritual the mass death of turkeys. While I'm not a vegan, but we realize that people literally come together in these winter rituals out of consuming material things, instead of coming together and going, now let's build this inner truth within, this inner light within. Let's release that. Especially when people share from the heart, it's something healing. How many people really feel like they've experienced a sense of healing when they get together alongside family? How many people feel healed when they receive an empty card from the humans that brought them into this planet that says nothing whatsoever about what's really going on? Hope you have a nice holiday. Fuck you too. And it's like, when are people going to learn, right? That is not love. Candy is not love. But one thing about candy and living in poverty, being that I can barely afford the proteins that the body feels that it needs, the holidays are a time in which candy, candy, candy appears in all these ads. And candy is one of those things that people reach to when they can't afford good food. So the candy bombardment is metaphoric of the poverty-stricken state of consciousness and spirituality in the body of man today, which seemingly cannot afford higher level realities of experience because its spirit is in a state of poverty. And the candy is metaphoric to that. Same thing with Valentine's Day. Ooh, it tastes really good going down, right? But the greater effect on it and on the brain isn't good. So this holiday season, if you're anything like me, right? You avoid shopping malls. You avoid the excessive consumption of candy. Although nothing wrong with a little bit of candy. Had some recently myself as I came back from town, not with steak, but with what I could afford and some candy. Some candy. And as I eat my chocolate discounted candy for $2 and my Kroger cola, right? I'm reminded of what the holidays really are for nearly all people. A materialism ritual. A time where those with people in their lives get to laugh and celebrate. A time just like birthdays, where we hear that empty, hope you're having a happy, blah, 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 when we're actually living a nightmare. Why? Because we're seeking and we're speaking the truth, and we're not on the path that others are on.